We at Network 18 held a mega event today in India's capital, Delhi, called Shakti, the power of women, reflecting on the success stories of women voices across various fields and roles. And one of the sessions was around the Shakti behind the male cricketers, Suresh, Raina and Cheteshwar Pujara in particular. We sat down for a chat with the Shaktis, or the powers behind these cricketers, to bring out their sacrifices, their struggles, and how they've been working behind the scenes, toiling hard in ensuring that their counterparts could build powerful narratives on the field. Here's an excerpt from that conversation. For everyone gathered here, very, very good afternoon. Now, there are things that are known, and then, of course, there are things that are unknown, and in between that lies the doors of perception. So said Aldous Huxley, but I want to take this a little further, and the reason why we're talking about perceptions today is because of the way people perceive truth. And I say the perception, or where you believe or you perceive the truth to be, depends on which side of the doors that you walk into. When you speak about international cricketers, and Indian cricketers in particular, you have the celebrity status, you speak about how glamorous it is, especially when it extends to their families, their partners, their spouses here. And everyone looks at how it will be perfect, picture perfect, savvy, social media. Oh, it's all so easy, not messy one bit. We're here to break those myths here today. And I've got two remarkable ladies whom I've had the privilege of knowing over the last few years to join me and make this conversation more enlightening. Because in all the years, we always talk about the success and the struggles of the cricketers, but it's time to talk about the Shakti behind all of that. I'm really honored to be joined by Priyanka, Chaudhary, Raina and Puja Pabari. Thank you so much, ladies. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure. Thank you so much, Rupha.
All right. First off, I have to sort of ask you, how many times have you heard this, or probably even being mentioned to you? It's all so glamorous. Bahut easy. It's fun. You want to go?
Okay. So usually when you think of a cricketer's wife, you think, oh, they travel, they just live the best life, and, they enjoy, they have it all. Little is the known fact that cricketers live a very disciplined life, and the family has to follow. You may initially just, try to be there, but eventually, you understand the importance of the discipline, and you kind of want to grow with that. So, yeah, so it just looks glamorous on the outside, but it's just hard work and, and sweat and everything in between,
Priyanka.
I think for the right reasons, they have this kind of perception, because thanks to social media, the kind of perception we give to the world is that we are traveling, we are lunching, we're dining out, and we're doing the best things with our kids, because we tend to share only the good parts, right? And we are so socially active all the time, giving these kinds of updates about our lives. So for right reasons, that's the kind of perception usually people have. But trust me, our household is as normal as anybody else, I think, in this room. And we have similar kind of struggles, similar kind of challenges to deal with every day. So yes, it happens a lot.
Before we go to the next question, I obviously want to say there's a bit of a surprise, not just for the ladies here, but for all of you gathered here. We'll come to that in a bit. But if I have to just ask my obvious question, to dig deep right at the start. They say it takes a village to raise a child. I'd say the same for a champion, and also to sort of mold yourself into being one. I mean, it's very difficult to have the success stories of a World Cup winner and a maverick in the shorter format like Suresh Raina, or a Test Championship finalist and one of the legacies and legends of the longer format of the country, Cheteshwar Pujara. It's not easy. It takes a lot of sacrifices for them to get here. Let's listen to yours. You go ahead.
So I wouldn't call it like a sacrifice, to be honest, because we are one family unit, and our common goal and objective is to make a home which is full of love, of course, full of love, discipline, and of course, giving a good future to our children, right? That's the sole and common objective we have. So what I would really say that a lot of cooperation is required. I really have a lot of respect for all the hard work these guys put in, and they, as Puja said, they have to have a lot of discipline, a lot of travel is involved. So while we sometimes have to be on the back foot with our things because their things have to take priority. At the same time, they're also sacrificing a lot because it's not easy to travel for months, not to see children, not to be at home. So that also takes a lot of toll on them. So it's all about being there for each other, being supportive. So we make sure that we organize things well, that when they need us, we're right there. Because while they're playing such tournaments, they have to be emotionally and mentally very strong. So at that time, I think as a partner, it becomes very essential that they're mentally free.
Pooja, any instances that you can recollect which sort of helps us understand this better?
Yeah, of course. Lots and lots, actually. But there are so many sacrifices that, a family of the cricketer, not just the partner, but the family of the cricketer has to make. And it is a choice. It is not like imposed or it is not, told to you, but it's a choice because at some stage, I believe one has to understand and take a step back in order for the other one to flourish. And you will have your time. And that is when you can flourish. And, your partner will be cheering you. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely well said there. And that gives me the perfect intrusion in some sense to show a little something to both of you. It's a special message. I tried to build the surprise as much as I could. So if I could ask my team to play out the messages that we have, let's hear it, please.
Hi Priyanka, this is a special shout out to you. Thank you for coming in my life and being a great anchor. You have truly helped me succeed in my professional space, and our family, our home is a wonderful place, and you have played a big part in keeping it that way. You have done really well as a professional entrepreneur. You have succeeded in Mate. You have grown up looking after your NGO, Gracia Raina Foundation. This is recognized the Shakti's our society, and you have done really well. And Shri Shakti event is gonna be amazing for you as well as for others. All the best to everyone.
Hi Puja, for a change it's good to be on this side of the fence with you taking center stage in front of the media and me taking care of Aditi and the home in your absence. Jokes aside, I'm grateful to you for being the anchor in my life and at home. Looking after so many things from taking care of Aditi, my dad and managing the household stuff. Apart from all this, you have managed my commercial and financial matters as well. And you have done it so seamlessly, allowing me to focus on my game and career all these years. Thank you for all you have done so far. Enjoy the session and see you at home soon.
The operative word is soon. We can't be away for too long. But that brings me into a very nice, interesting subject. We all talk about equal parenting. We know there is no such thing, let's be honest. But we want to hear it from you ladies because I have a few. In fact, the one reason why we wanted to have this conversation and we needed to have this sort of conversation is during the time when we were with Chennai Super Kings, I remember Aditi, Puja and Cheteshwar's daughter saying, in school there was a teacher who asked, okay, what do our parents do? And she said, my dad plays, my mom works. So I want to know how much of an impact that you've had, and similarly with Priyanka as well. There was a shoot we did with Priyanka and Suresh, and both the kids, Rio and Gracia, were there, and they just automatically gravitated towards whatever it is that Priyanka was saying, and everything that she said really mattered. So how important has that been, and what kind of a responsibility have you shouldered in that regard?
See, it's a huge responsibility, right? Like parenting a child. Even if you both as a couple you are doing a 9-to-6 job or in any work per se, parenting is a huge responsibility on its own. Now, imagine like your partner is away for like 6-7 months a year or 8 months a year, and you have to be you're doing the double parenting single-handedly. Like there's a lot of scrutiny over cricketers' lives, right? So and children, knowingly, unknowingly also get to hear about it. So while, so see, as a parent, you have to really, like pull up your socks and, you explain the right things to your children and, give them the right information and the right window for them to grow.
How difficult is that part of the roles that you end up playing, Priyanka? Trying to be two parents instead of one?
I think children are very smart these days. So I cannot just simply be there and say, okay, dad is not here, so, I'm going to be replacing him or something. They really know what they need from each parent. They're very, very smart. When it comes to anything where they seek any sort of security or any cuddles, they know they're not going to reach out to moms. And when it's fun times, then it's always fathers. We are the bad cops, no matter what. And we really make sure that whenever he's around or I'm not traveling, that we give these beautiful moments to our children. They cherish them and we be there for each other.
Thank you so much for joining us here today. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having us.